Getting where we need to go together. The wheels of the Piedmont Triad's economic engine are already turning as we've seen major economic announcements, notably surrounding aviation at the Piedmont Triad International Airport.
But to meet the needs of those companies, leaders decided they need to come together for what's called an inner city visit. And last week they traveled to the air capital of the world, Wichita, Kansas. Fox 8's Michael Hennessy went with them, joins us now in the studio. Michael, this was a well-rounded group.
Yeah, Neil, Katie, the trip was put on by the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce, but participants included everyone from higher education to real estate to local governments. And it's their hope what we learned over a span of less than 3 days will help steer the Triad's next 5, 10 years and beyond. They are major, historic announcements.
Jet Zero.
Job creation changing the landscape of the Piedmont Triad.
No question, Greensboro's role in aviation for the next 100 years is going to be significant.
But to fulfill those lofty goals, the people making the decisions needed to take flight themselves.
It is the air capital of the world. They've been doing this for 100 years.
To Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita has long been a center of aviation.
This is an aviation hub, and we are building an aviation hub.
The idea is you get 100 of the most influential people in the Guilford County region in the same room, hearing and sharing, shaping the same things.
Essentially, it's us going to another community that we think we can learn something from.
In order to plan for the future, you need to learn from the past. That's why the first stop on this tour is here at the Kansas Aviation Museum.
We're learning the lessons. Really important. Why make the same mistakes that they may? Let's learn.
The first night featured Wichita representatives, welcoming, willing to share how 35% of all general aviation planes built in the United States are delivered from Kansas.
The community and the surrounding services that make that so good in this community, and how can we build that in Greensboro and Guilford County, and really the Piedmont Triad region.
We have a real good opportunity to be the aerospace capital for the next 100 years.
While the foundation is here, what our locals need to figure out is how to build up and out.
What you accomplish is really twofold. Number one, you get to go to a new place, you get to see how they do business, and you learn from that. But I think the most important part of attending this trip is that I get to interact with folks in my community that care enough to take one of these trips and will make a difference in Greensboro's future.
Something we hear a lot about in the Piedmont Triad is not only training the proper workforce, but keeping that workforce where we need it. It's something they're very proficient at here at Wichita State University Tech.
It was inspiring to see how they have done it because I think it gives us a tremendous amount of ideas.
Wichita State University Tech has been able to adjust programs and expand their offerings to students beyond the state of Kansas, bringing in more of them, teaching them well, and getting them jobs in Kansas.
At the end of the day, it's really about what does our state need to do to ensure that we're having economic growth, and how do we make sure that the students who are paying money to come to the university have the jobs and have the right type of training.
They've also been able to grow their footprint. State-of-the-art buildings forming the careers of the future through collaboration between technical colleges and universities.
I don't know the right answer on how we get there, but I think that's going to be critical for us to streamline the alignment that we're going to need in our community to continue the forward momentum.
Early takeaways from a days-long trip.
Took away a couple things. One thing is we're already doing some things right.
That will help determine the direction of our region for years.
I think what's really great about the state of North Carolina is that we are aligned in terms of what we want to do.
Generations to come.
We will never be able to do it alone. We have to do it together.
From Wichita State University Tech, we made our way to Wichita State University's Innovation Campus. In a period of just 10 years, they've built things that are what Christensen describes as light years ahead of everybody else. We're going to take you there, back here tomorrow night at 6.
Airbus, Textron, Aviation, even the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms, all partners at Wichita State University's Innovation Campus. It's part of the tour some local leaders took during last week's inter-city visit to Wichita, Kansas.
It's a tour they hope will help guide our region as we transition into our next phase. Fox 8's Michael Hennessy was there for that tour and joins us now. Michael, this campus was just an idea in 2012.
And Neil, Katie, it came to life quickly. Situated on what was once underutilized land, it's now home to leaders in cutting-edge technology, both present and future.
We can grow a lot. We can become significantly stronger.
Wichita State University proclaims the city is our campus, and its campus rivals, surpasses advancements made in cities across the country.
There's a lot of public-private partnership here.
For decades, a golf course took up 120 acres of its campus until leaders saw an opportunity to lead.
I was excited to see what a university has done to really create an atmosphere that inspired industry to amalgamate with them.
This is Wichita State University's Innovation Campus. It was announced in 2015. Here we are, just over 10 years later, and you can see much of it behind me here. Everything from labs to maker spaces to institutions.
Everybody has to be on board.
It goes hand in hand with the learning we saw at Wichita State University Tech.
There is 60 to 70% retention rate of the people that come here to get education, staying in these businesses, working in this area. That's huge.
By offering an Associate of Applied Science, a 2-year program, a technical certificate 1 year, and a certificate of completion 1 semester.
What I saw was a singularity of mindset here.
With programs ranging from aviation maintenance technology to professional pilot and unmanned aircraft systems.
Everything was not taught on a screen or through a book. It actually had you in there working with the materials. And I think that sort of experiential training is invaluable, especially as we're beginning to prepare a future workforce.
40 years ago, something was introduced at WSU that is now world renowned.
Here we're inside the National Institute for Aviation Research, or NIAR. It sounds cool because it is, so much so we can't film beyond those doors.
A lot of the things that NIAR and Wichita State University and the Tech Center have already done here, we have in place, but we need to grow like they have.
NIAR provides certification, design, and research for the FAA and Department of Defense, hence why we couldn't bring a camera, but these are all things our local tour members want and believe they can bring home.
In North Carolina and Greensboro, we have a tremendous amount of opportunity, a lot of new industries coming in.
Still, there might be a need to lean on what's already established in Wichita to get to where we need to be.
There's stuff we didn't even see today, like advanced composite manufacturing. I know about it. It's here. It's right across the street. We're going to have to send people here to gain that training because we're going to have to introduce that for Jet Zero.
One thing all of these educators agree on is the Triad's potential for growth hinges on their ability to get students, current and coming, ready quickly.
Many times the student comes on to their new job in industry, and it takes months, several months to train them. We need to expedite that process.
Right now we have about 500 to 600 students in program, whether it be Con Ed or curriculum programs related to aviation education. That's going to be the attrition rate for Jet Zero, annual attrition rate.
That means investing not only funding, but time and effort together.
To achieve some things that right now may feel very difficult or far into the future. I actually don't think that's the case. I think we are right there.
Now, we also toured Textron. It's the manufacturer of Beechcraft and Cessna. We're going to check that out tomorrow. But also, there was something else a lot of you have been asking about, a downtown and housing element to this trip, and some interesting opinions at the end. We'll bring you all of that back here tomorrow night at 6.
3 days, 5 distinct visits, and a wealth of experience. The Greensboro Chamber of Commerce's inner-city visit to Wichita, Kansas was a whirlwind, but worth every minute.
Leaders from across sectors, the local spectrum, made stop after stop, learning what made Wichita the capital of the world for the last 100 years, aviation capital of the world, with the goal of overtaking that title. Fox 8's Michael Hennessy and photojournalist Hannah Sprague were with him, and Michael joins us now. Michael, it might seem like the work's just beginning, but that's not necessarily the case.
And Neil, Katie, yesterday we showed you Wichita State University's Innovation Campus. It took about 10 years to get to what it is today, and our local experts say we've already done some of what we need to do something not only similar, but better.
It exceeded my expectations in every manner.
If there's one thing these leaders took away from their trip to Wichita, Kansas, it might be
we need to set our sights high, and hopefully something like that will happen here.
That their lofty goals aren't lofty enough.
I think we as an area, as a community, need to think bigger. Sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit that we can do some really big things.
After visiting Wichita State University's Innovation Campus and NIAR, we checked out what's been a staple in the area for 100 years.
It was all very exciting.
Here at Textron, they've done something really cool. It's basically a one-stop shop for new employees. Somebody can walk in, no appointment needed. They can get something called work keys. In a matter of 4 hours, it's basically the equivalent of a GED. They can go through drug screening, all of that right here so they can hire faster.
It was work, but it was work well worth it.
After the tours was WSU Tech's National Institute for Culinary and Hospitality Education, or NICH, in downtown Wichita.
I was prepared to see the big things that they were doing in aviation. I wasn't prepared to see a big thing that they're doing in biotech and the medical campus that they have downtown.
Again, hand in hand with higher education, the city's downtown has been modernized, revitalized. Wichita State University and the University of Kansas coming together to build the Wichita Biomedical Campus.
They seem to marry a lot of aspects of a community around each other.
Scheduled to open next year, the largest ever investment in its downtown will span 350,000 square feet.
I think that group became very energized from what they saw and seeing what could be.
But it's also a lesson in housing, with Wichita representatives touting a recent Wall Street Journal article highlighting its average monthly rent for apartments being $950 and median household income at $66,000.
Most everything in Wichita was like 84% private money. And if you can get that and get whatever the governments can put in and all of this, think how far we could go.
The trip closed with a debrief.
Don't be risk averse. And the flip side of the don't be risk averse coin is don't take credit if you take a risk and you're right.
Brainstorming what the Triad's already doing right.
What I want is a NIAR equivalent in Greensboro.
And the things that need to change or be created.
I think you're missing a little bit of the cross-functional collaboration between your entities. And so just chatting with a few of you throughout the week, I think that's the piece for you all to take home.
A better roadmap.
You're always thinking 5 to 10 year timelines, but you want things to happen. You want things to happen fast.
With a renewed sense of urgency.
To see the energy and the common goal of doing something good for our community, it really makes you smile.
In a strengthened alliance.
To sit beside some of the partners from higher ed or sitting with partners who are in the private sector and listen to the same things and then immediately collaborate with them after is golden.
To create a Piedmont Triad.
We learn what they did, where they made their mistakes, and learn not to do that part again.
Better prepared than ever for takeoff.
And of course, a lot of these are early stage and they've got a long way to go, but so did Cessna at one time.
Well, that debrief was the first of what will be many conversations and meetings stemming from this trip. And when I asked about the direct next move, it was getting everybody back together to identify their priorities and acting on them.